Clemson Tigers 21-11 this season. They went 11-9 in ACC play. They had a tremendous non-conference showing. A team that was safely into the field before that disappointing showing in the ACC tournament when they lost as a 6th seed to the number 11 seed Boston College Eagles. That shot is good, and we are off and running. It's Jamal Mashburn Jr. getting the party started.
You want to see a little elevation on a jumper? That's a guy to watch.
Mashburn, who has had to deal with flu-like symptoms over the past week or so, is back to full strength. And boy, how good was he, Jimmy, in the conference tournament last week in Vegas.
Terrific. That's absolutely terrific. Double teamed the post a little bit early on. And Hall touches.
Into the paint. This is Ian Shefflin, most improved player this year in the ACC.
When Hall slides out, he'll slide in.
Ball out of bounds. It's a turnover.
Watch this elevation as he comes across the turn right here. Wham! That's a pretty looking jump shot.
Turn the corner. That is Chase Hunter all the way to the rack.
A fifth-year senior who has a lot of experience, too, and he showed it on that early drive to the basket.
Hunter, the Atlanta native, their team leader in assists. And a good start for Clemson, taking advantage of the New Mexico turnover. Mashburn.
Yeah, he had another jumper there if he wanted it.
House feeds the post. This is JT topping the spin. Goes left hand, and a pretty little flick.
And making good decisions is so important for Richard Pitino's team. They're another team that really only turns it over 10 times a game. So both of these teams pretty good in possessing the basketball.
Jimmy, what about this early pace? Which team is in favor so far?
Well, it's going to favor New Mexico. If it stays in that way, you'll see sometimes you go to the basket like that. Hunter getting a little out of control.
House feeds Dent in the corner, and then they turn it over again underneath.
Yeah, threw it right against the knees almost of Joseph just then. He can shoot this.
Hall bangs in an early three.
He can make you look good just sitting here, Kenny. He can shoot that. We know he can shoot that three ball.
P.J. Hall, all-time career at Clemson. He's number 10 on their all-time scoring list. An encouraging signs for a Clemson team that really struggled over the past couple of weeks. Up the floor, they're looking to push here all the way to the rack is Jack Clark. And contact underneath. Let's see if they put him at the free throw line.
Let's see if the opposing player comes out. You see right there, he's standing a little bit by the top of the key. But you have to extend with Hall. And watch for Shefflin to go down deep. A little high-low action possibly from Hall.
We talked to Brad Brownell about this little 1-3 stretch that everyone has been talking about with this Clemson team that had stretches of the year, Jim, where they looked so good this year.
Yep.
And he said, look, we had to have some hard conversations as a group. And he got into his guys a little bit after that ACC showing. Asked his players to recommit to each other. And, Jim, this is the kind of start that they were hoping for here in Memphis.
Yeah, I mean, that's just smart coaching on his part, right? You try to get your team to refocus, like you use that word, and make sure they come out and have it happen as a collective group.
Let's take a little peek at our advanced stats presented by Invesco QQQ. 2-point field goal attempts per game leads the NCAA. The New Mexico team that likes to push tempo at every opportunity. Underneath, that's Junior Joseph, unable to convert. Strong interior defense.
Gerard a shooter, too, from long range. A little old school, though, for New Mexico, the way they play it, the mid-range shooting.
Shefflin setting up his defender for the drop step. He missed. Everything but the finish.
And so you have to worry about the drives to the basket. Here's a little pull-up, though. Wow.
House!
They beat you into thinking they're going to keep attacking. Just good enough from the outside with House that time lighting it up.
He is the straw that stirs the drink.
Sure is. Shoots that shot at 33% on the season. Nice look.
Gerard, beautiful bounce to Shefflin.
You think they look at the scouting report, what do they think about Gerard, right? They think he's going to shoot the 3. They think he's going to shoot the 15-footer. What does he do? He just drops it down on the floor for a layup.
Really good offensive start for Clemson. 4 of their first 6.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, boy, Gerard takes a hard hit.
What are they going to call that on? He took a hit on the screen, Spiro, and then he took a hit also with the arm come up. Watch Mashburn right there. Oh, you're talking about getting the double whammy effect. Comes across the screen, watch his body, number 11. That's okay. That could have been moving also with...
Boy, Toppin got him really hard with that shoulder. Looks like Gerard is okay. Early stages in Memphis, Clemson the early lead. Boy, Joseph Girard III. Good news is that he's okay. Maybe some potentially bad news here. Not a good call if you're Clemson. Jimmy, what did they tell you? The officials just came over.
Yeah, you see the screen right there. And what happened is the official says it's in the cylinder rule. So number 5 here, he stops, and you get a little bounce, and he gets into the cylinder as he goes up.
Let's bring in Gene's territory. Gene, what did you think?
I agree with Jimmy. It's a tough play, and I truthfully think that the screen is suspect, and I believe the screen contact actually puts Gerard into the cylinder. Now, look, when they call this foul, which was a player control on the court, you take that play in its isolation, the defender is in the cylinder, so even though that contact, which was a vertical swim move, is not a flagrant, the foul is a cylinder foul there, but I would love to have had something maybe on the screen, guys, that put Gerard in the position in the first place.
Hey, Gene, and I did ask the official when he came over about that, even though he went off that screen, which I agree with you. I didn't think it was a legal screen. He moved over with lost his balance, but he said, nope, that's still the cylinder rule is what he said.
Yeah, because they can't officiate that portion of that play, Jim.
Yep.
That's not where they had the team control foul, so they have to live with that. But now they just have to referee what we're seeing right there with the great replay, just the action with Gerard and the ball and the player with the ball. And in that case, in isolation, that's a cylinder foul.
Because they couldn't clarify that, Gene. Just one last point, because the screen was not called either way.
Correct, Jim. That's 100%. Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Gene.
All right, we thank Gene for hopping on with us. Here comes Hunter up into the teeth of the defense, knocked out of bounds underneath. Yeah, we were confused for a second. We thought that the initial contact on Toppin on the screen was what they were looking at, but it was not.
I think there's 2 parts of that screen, too, Spiro. Number 1, his shoulders, I thought, moved a little bit, and if you noticed, his left leg was out extended further than his shoulder width.
Mashburn, beautiful, and then it's cleaned up underneath. Nicely done by Nelly Jr. Joseph.
I like the way both teams, both missed layups just then. New Mexico cleaned theirs up, but both going to the basket pretty aggressively.
4th leading rebounder this year in the Mountain West Conference. 2nd triple for P.J. Hall.
As a shooter, Spiro, when you know your shot's not going to get blocked, you become a better shooter. And Hall right now, nobody's getting out there, so he's really getting a clean look. Confidence is building.
Mustafa M. Seal has checked into the game. 3-pointer from him, no that time. New Mexico comes up empty.
Gerard with the ball, but you hit a good point. The fact that the number 1 thing you said was he was okay because he took a pretty good shot.
Look at this kid, Shefflin, offside. Well, he's got all the moves, hasn't he?
He has improved his game so much. And when he gets it down low, it's, because his teammate, Paul, can step away, it gives him some room to operate.
Little baseline delivery from House won't go, and the rebound by Shefflin.
Yeah, good pickup and no dribble just then by Shefflin, who was by House. Could have taken that one right away from him.
Nice look again. Beautiful pass inside. It's Hunter on the catch and finish. Jack Clark with a tremendous delivery on the pass. 7 straight for the Tigers.
I'm almost thinking Richard Pitino might be thinking about a timeout if they don't score here, and Clemson does.
Here's Donovan Dent, quiet start, and he hits that little nifty floater in tight.
Yeah, nice way to answer. As you're getting a little rattled at the defensive end, New Mexico, with the way they're operating. Now look at how far out they're getting out to Hall. And he's smart enough to go back down underneath and switch places.
Hall catches on the bench.
Oh, he just took a shot.
Yes, he did. No whistle.
My goodness.
Off the floor comes Dent. House trailing 3. Short. Fight for it. And it's taken Junior Joseph. Oh, no. Again, your anticipation level, next level.
Here's that little pull-up down low. I'm still half laughing. I'm gassed because they had to move to get out of the way on that one. Well defended, but you notice how Hall switched to go down. He took a shot inadvertently on the way out by Joseph.
By the way, my confidence level that you'll protect me on one of those has disappeared. New Mexico is going to inbound the ball here. It looks like the officials are going to go perhaps to the replay monitor.
I've come to the conclusion, though, with the two shots we've seen, I would not be a good boxing analyst.
No.
Like, oh.
Right there, the right elbow of Nelly Junior Joseph. So the officials are going to look to see here if there was anything extra. So that's exactly what we have been told. They're going to try to confirm here if there should have been anything extra called. Looks like Hall is okay. Jimmy, it has been intense.
It sure has.
And physical so far in this opening half.
And as the boxing analyst, we said, no blood yet, though, Spiro.
So, Gene, they go to the replay monitor as they can do here at the next dead ball situation. What do you see on this?
When you've got this activity and this action, guys, with that contact that's pretty severe to the head neck area, that's going to rise the level of your sensitivity to lean more toward flagrant. Now we're trying to look to see, okay, is this just a normal basketball play? Is the contact incidental? In my opinion, as Junior Joseph kind of goes up, those arms are outside of his frame. The elbow's bent, and he comes up hard aggressively to that face. To me, I elevate that to a flagrant one based on those conditions.
Gene, do they factor in intent?
Not really, Spiro. You don't want to officiate with intent, right? You're trying to look at these in isolation and try to just officiate the action. Now, with that said, if I'm watching this review and this doesn't happen here, if that player turns and looks and seeks his opponent and now that's followed with an excessive or severe kind of contact, I'm going to do that personally. I'm going to look and see that he looked, he knew where he was, and he made his own decision then to go there. But really, for the players, I think what we're finding as this evolves is anytime you're making contact in that head and neck area with elbows that are out, they're horizontal, they're bent, you're rising this opportunity to receive a flagrant one foul. So it's hard to do for the athletes. I get it. And I think you really want to try to stay within your frame as much as possible, because when elbows get out and contact happens like this, the officials are in that space to put a flagrant foul on those.
All right, Gene, we appreciate the expertise. Looks like the officials have made their decision. Jimmy, it sounds like they're going to upgrade this
to a flagrant 1, 2 free throws. Paul will get those shots. And Gene, I agree with you with the arm going out, because part of me said, well, he's just almost going up to maybe get a defensive rebound, but because of those extended arms, everybody agreed here in the building. Well, not everybody in the building agreed with you, because there's some people on the other side booing. But good call and regroup for the officials.
So 2 free throws and possession for Clemson with 13-15 left to play. Actually, New Mexico
had the
possession,
ball,
I beg your pardon. So 2 free throws and then New Mexico ball. Jimmy, what have you seen so far? Clemson, again, really good start as they built this lead now to 9 points.
I've seen a comfortable team running their sets well, and what I've also will add to that is the exchanges between Hall and Shefflin, between them going high-low. One's getting in there when they think they need him. If they think they can get Hall a shot from the outside, they'll move him out.
I was right the first time. Clemson possession.
Oh, you are. My bad.
Gerard, the pump fake. Off the screen. This is Dylan Hunter trying to feed the post in a tight crowd. This is R.J. Godfrey in tight. And the Tigers have opened up their biggest lead.
And sometimes you just have to make sure you catch the basketball down there. It was deflected a little bit, then he snatched at it and then finished it off.
New Mexico at this end, all their firepower offensively. They're 5 of their first 12. Nice look inside House, but Toppin couldn't hit.
Notice they had a little bit of quick numbers right here, but Clemson content to come down. They're just really comfortable. Great ball fake.
Gerard.
He usually nails that one.
He's their three-point sharpshooter. A little bit too much that time. Here comes House. Tough floater. Glass, no. Rebound, Shefflin. Very few second chance opportunities for the Lobos.
Yeah, but they're getting relatively good looks, even though they've, like, just the last 2 times down the floor, they missed both of them. But like I said before, Spiro, if you get no shots, you're doing something right.
Ooh, that's a 3. He can fill it up from deep with the best of them.
And just because he misses his previous shot, don't think he's thinking, I'm off.
Look at House. He leaves him in his dust. Underneath Seal. Into the corner. This is Baker. No. Offensive rebound. A fight for it. Toppin had it. Look at the fight underneath. Dylan Hunter getting down dirty. And the basketball belongs to Clemson.
So the action, look at Gerard. He just knows where the basket is. Catches it, the rhythm, and everybody wanting the basketball. Good work for Hunter.
Brad, are you comfortable playing at this pace?
Yeah, we certainly don't mind running when we get stops. We don't want it to be a track meet, but right now I like the way we're playing. We're getting the ball up and down the court. We got to get some easies too.
Thanks. Have a good rest of the half.
Okay, thanks, John.
Brad Brownell has this program back in the dance for the first time since 21. We had a chance to visit with him, Jimmy, yesterday. Talked about how hard Selection Sunday was last year, where they had their hearts ripped out. Remember, they won 14 league games last year, missed the tournament. They were one of the first 4 out. So everyone talks about maybe some of the struggles in the ACC tournament for them. They were just happy to get back into this tournament. And what a start for them. And it continues with P.J. Hall, their star.
And Spiro, I think the most impressive part of this 27 points that they've put on the board, yeah, they're 10 for 15 from the floor, but they have not turned the ball over.
Highly efficient, and it's a 16-2 run. Lobos desperately need some points. Mashburn misses there.
And a stop or 2 is what they really need too.
New Mexico is 1 of 6 from deep. They're 5 of 16 overall. Little deflection there, and Seal. And the basketball stays here with Clemson. Jim Spinarkle, John Rothstein, our producer Craig Silver, Andy Friedman, our director, rest of our terrific True TV crew. Happy to have you with us here in Memphis.
There goes a 3. Hall. That's that inside-outside game they have, Spiro. Mixing it up a bit. He'll make that shot more than he'll miss it, really, if he's that wide open.
There's Baker. New Mexico at this end has missed 5 straight shots, 7 of their last 8. Toppin, and he's erased. How about that interior defense from Clark?
Just jump over him.
Wiggins, good look at it with the extension, couldn't finish. Mashburn. Jimmy, they just can't buy one right now.
Remember, they take a bunch of 2-point shots, maybe go back to their strength.
Gerard. The Lobos are taking it on the chin. They're down 19.
It's almost in the ridiculous camp, that shot. Just a smooth shooter. He could go about another 5 to 8 feet back if he had to.
Well, we saw Baylor with some tremendous 3-point shooting in the opening game. Clemson right there.
There's a 2-point opportunity right now.
Little drop step maneuver, beautifully done by Nelly Jr. Joseph, the Iona transfer. And he's going to shoot free throws as we take a look at our AT&T connected cam from high above.
Nice little job there, too, jumping in with Clark. And you go behind the screen just a touch, and he's going to make you pay. Gerard shooting that ball this year at 43% from 3.
So here's Nelly Jr. Joseph. Last 3 years at Iona under Rick Pitino, the 2-time All-MAC first-team selection. Desperately trying to get New Mexico some points. Terrific year. We mentioned among the league leaders in rebounds. But right now, Richard Pitino just thinking about anything he can do As New Mexico comes up empty and nothing is going right for the Lobos.
The old cliche of the lid on the basket, even on the free throws. Clemson has real good bounce, the offensive end of the floor. Passing, the cutting, the confidence. Here's a little isolation.
Hall with Joseph on his back, spins, fades.
It's a good looking shot though, even though he didn't make it. Beautifully done. That fall away just a touch.
Look at the scoring drought for New Mexico, nearly 5 minutes. We have seen some prodigious scoring bursts from this team.
And Clemson showing some length on that perimeter too.
Junior Joseph, big shot for New Mexico, and that ends a 19-2 run. Well, they look up, and they're still in a 17-point hole. Hunter, beautiful fake. Offensive rebound underneath.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't shoot the ball just then. Watch out.
Hard move to the rack. House is going to be whistled here. And some words exchanged with Jack Clark walking to the free throw line.
Finally get a little bit of a look in the middle of the floor. And as you touched on, get one to go down for you.
Jimmy, watch this New Mexico team. It was so good in the Mountain West Conference tournament. Remember, they lost 6 of their final 10 conference games, so they missed out on the first round bye given to the top 5 teams. So they had to face Air Force, beat them handily in the quarters, and that started really just an incredible run. They took down the 3 seed Boise State, then handled Colorado State before beating the Aztecs in the championship game. First team in the history of the conference to win 4 games in 4 days. But you just get the sense now that the confidence is lacking a little bit. And so what a one it was for them last week is House is swallowed up. Contact underneath from Godfrey.
Yeah, you'll see the step across right there. Gets pretty much all ball at top, but watch the bottom of this body. Yep, before he even gets to the basketball, he's getting crunched.
We asked Richard Pitino yesterday what was the turnaround in Vegas, and he said even before that, really the last month, it has been the elevation in play from House and Mashburn. And those are going to have to be the 2 players, Jimmy, that lead them back against this really good Clemson squad. House, all Mountain West 3rd team.
See if they throw a little trick out here now, Spirit. Maybe change something up defensively. There you go, a little full court action. Are they going to look for a trap maybe? Nope, just go back straight up man to man. Wow, nice.
House comes up with the steal, then he saves it, but he stepped out of bounds. Those are the kind of plays that he can make. And both teams will go to their respective benches as we'll get a timeout. Jalen House desperately trying to get the Lobos back within striking distance. There's one of the all-timers, Rick Pitino. Today he's here just as a dad in support of his son Richard. Talk about some of the all-time father-son duos in the history of the sport. Of course, Bryce and Scott Drew. We saw Scott earlier. As we go over to John Rothstein minutes ago with Richard.
Richard, how do you get back in this thing?
We got to make some shots. We're not strong around the basket. Their size is hurting us. We've had a couple open looks that we're not hitting. They're going under ball screens, and then we got to get some defensive rebounds to get out on the break, play with our pace.
All right, thanks. Have a good rest of the half.
Thank you.
All right, John, good stuff. Richard Pitino, what a season for the 41-year-old coach. Year 3 for him in Albuquerque. And not the start that either Richard or Rick were hoping for the Lobos.
Now, I'm almost thinking it'd probably be easier for Rick to be sitting next to him down there, getting involved, rather than sitting there and watching your son. A little extra anxiety on that one.
He's coached at a few of these holes in his career.
Oh, he sure has. Again, they come out on Gerard.
Gerard looking for the contact. And this one last touched underneath. As the basketball will stay with Clemson. Little tournament summary. Double down on those 11 seeds so far in the tournament. What a performance by Baylor. As the Bears await the winner here between Clemson and New Mexico. Clark looking for a teammate. This is Shefflin. Out front to Hunter. Shefflin. Shot clock at 5. Stops on a dime. Fight for the rebound. And New Mexico controls with True Washington.
Yeah, at 6'4" just then. He really entered the fray trying to get that rebound. See if he go quickly one-on-one. Watch the bounce. Gerard left, and he goes.
Junior Joseph.
Nice.
Friendly little bounce.
Nice decision there. Did you notice Gerard was cheating a little bit? Spiro thinking, I'm going to go double team the post. He released. That's when you go one-on-one. Nice work.
So they've cut it down to 15 points as we cross the 7-minute mark. New Mexico fans up on their feet. Contact underneath. Late whistle. And they're going to put Chase Hunter at the free throw line.
Watch when they get it down on the blocks right here, and watch Gerard. He's going to come down. He's cheating a little bit. Now he goes back that way, and that's the time to go one-on-one because you have the liberty of putting the ball on the floor if you want to.
So foul charge to J.T. Toppin, his first. And the 5th against New Mexico.
Free throw shooter at the line. Bang that off the back of the iron. Wow, a pair. I was going to say it's almost impossible to think he's going to miss 2, right? That may be helping to shift for New Mexico.
And this Clemson team, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the country.
And I think the length of Clemson are giving them a little bit of problems. Let's see what he does one-on-one. There's a stronger double team, so he has to release it.
House three-pointer won't go. And the putback, Toppin.
That's very well executed, though, Spiro, in terms of how do you design your plays. How possible steal. Oh, look at this effort.
Boy, Jalen House nearly making it happen. And look at that fire.
Nobody can ever tell me in the NCAA tournament that they don't put it all on the line. Watch how far away from this ball he decides to dive to try to save it.
That young man plays with fire in his belly. The emotional leader of the Lobos trying to stem the tide for New Mexico. And they're showing some signs of life. 13-point game here in Memphis. New Mexico trying to come back. Here's our game summary. 6:09 left before halftime. New Mexico slowly starting to chip away at this Clemson lead, but they got their hands full with these two bigs.
They really do, with Hall's ability to go deep, which is a pretty thing to see when you think that he's 6'10 and a half, and then they mix it up down low with Shefflin going to the basket. I like the way they exchange places on the floor occasionally.
So if you've just hopped on with us, Clemson opened up a 19-point lead with high efficiency offensively. New Mexico getting scrappy here, however, the last couple of minutes led by Jalen House as they cut this thing now down to 13 points.
23 seconds on the inbounds. That allowed them, that timeout allowed them a new 10 seconds to cross the line.
This is Gerard. Poked away, nearly stolen. Hall retrieved, then attacks and extends.
That little fumble out there actually played, not his fumble, but a deflection played into his favor because he then was able to turn and get some momentum to the hole. Nice catch there just by Joseph in there.
Here comes Dent, knifing in. This is Mashburn, 3, no. Offensive rebound, Junior Joseph. House! Too much, and this one is last touched by Clemson.
And watch over here. A little bit of a deflection, and he turns the corner in a hurry. And just not able to come across quick enough and top him to get any kind of position.
P.J. Hall's parents, Jerome and Melanie. Proud parents, what a career their boy has had. A dribble drive underneath, no basket. There's Donovan Dent on the attack. 3-point shooting for New Mexico, Jimmy, just 1 of 10. It's been a big part of the story here, their offensive struggles as they shoot just at a 33% clip overall.
Yeah, that's the thing. You would think that number would be a little bit higher, but they have volume shooters some nights.
Nelly Junior Joseph against Hall. Leans in, and he hits.
Notice that little power move that he has right there. He goes right to the chest of Hall without throwing Hall off the court. The contact allows him to use his body and not Hall's.
Joseph, born in Nigeria, first year in this program. Hall, offensive foul.
I tell you, you don't see many calls like that because of the rule change. A pretty good positioning just then to watch the play. You watch him start going. His defender is outside the restricted area. He has good legal guarding defensive position. Don't see many charges called that much anymore.
That's the second against Hall. So he sits for Brad Brownell, and that was Clemson's first turnover. In meantime, here comes New Mexico. A 19-point Clemson lead is down to 11.
I don't think he had a choice but to put Hall on the floor the way New Mexico was going after him on the blocks with Joseph.
Boy, pretty spin, full extension from Godfrey.
Another real good patient move down there, setting himself up. Footwork and the bounce go together.
Jimmy, what a difference this Clemson team and the one that we saw in the ACC tournament against Boston College. House little floater won't go, and then it's last touched by Amseal underneath.
So here we go in terms of the little pull-up jumper there. And watch this spin. Sperry used the bounce and the body all at once. Be able to drop step and get yourself going in a hurry to the basket.
Richard Pitino has to be thinking, boy, his two best players offensively, House and Mashburn, are 2 for 13 shooting between them. And by some miracle, they're only down 13 points.
And guess what? They're not going to stop shooting either.
Lena from Godfrey won't go.
May have been a little hit there. I don't know. It was kind of close. It was pretty close.
Here's Amseal into the paint. They're going to reset with House as we are inside of 4 minutes left before halftime. Amseal puts it on the deck. He's got a lot to his game. Misses there. And he touched it last. Clemson's going to have it when we come back. The Lobos and the Tigers with a date with Baylor on the line here in Memphis. All right, Jamie, a lot of conversation before the tournament. Maybe not the respect that the Mountain West teams are hoping for in terms of seeds. Now they get their chance to show the country, Jimmy, just how good they are.
And see if they can prove it a little bit as we take a look at New Mexico's guard troubles with Mashburn and House. 2 for 13 between the two of them.
These are the two centerpiece players that Richard Pitino brought into the fold his first year as he has built this program really in some ways from scratch. Consider what Pitino inherited as we check in with John.
Well, Spiro, one of the things that Richard Pitino told me yesterday was that New Mexico is at its best when it's sharing the ball. The Lobos now, guys, with only 2 assists so far today, but you guys know to get assists, you got to make some shots, Spiro.
We also told John he needs some stops. Their defense has improved a little bit, but they've got a long way to go. 3-pointer from the corner from Hunter, no. Offensive rebound, Shefflin. 4th for them. This is Godfrey on the box. Far corner to Hunter, 7 to shoot. Shefflin.
Who knows the clock situation?
They got a piece of steal. Washington. A foot race to the rack. Turn back and dent on a stick back.
And I think Washington thought for a second he could beat Girard to the basket, which he did, but they had a big-time help by 2 players. But good work by New Mexico to get right back into that.
Washington, the freshman from Phoenix, who was really good off the bench in the Mountain West Championship against San Diego State. Girard misses, and then a loose ball foul against Clemson and Shefflin.
You got to make some things happen. You get the little pickup and you get down the floor and watch the first guy. He can go by Girard, but 2 guys coming in afterwards. Nice work, though, there by Dent to get that hoop.
So Shefflin charged with his first. As we come up on the final 2 minutes before halftime, here comes Donovan Dent, extends, blocked. Godfrey got a piece. And this is Clark the other way for the Tigers. Clemson, the at-large out of the ACC, 21 wins this season against New Mexico, 26-9, and the champions of the Mountain West. How about that finish? Godfrey, angry, 2-handed flush.
And when they need a bucket, they really settle that half-court sets down, and that was well designed too. They had a chance to maybe push that ball up the floor, decided not to, and there's their answer. Here you go, a little come over the screen, bang, finish it off.
So Richard Pitino and New Mexico, look at the time that they trailed that entire run through the conference tournament. Never been in this spot in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's 2 attempts going towards the basket. They just can't get it to roll in. Very close. It's sliding off the rim.
So New Mexico shooting at a 34% three-point. Gerard missed an open layup. They have expected a little bit more resistance. House out front. House gonna fire and hits.
They got something on the floor down there at the top of the key. 3-point line. Okay, somebody got headband.
Boy, that's some swing. A missed layup and then a 5-point swing. And suddenly it's a 10-point game. Shefflin
making them work a little harder now offensively. Good work by New Mexico on the defensive side.
Final 60 seconds of the half. Gerard. Shefflin's going to pull. The tip won't go. Hunter, jump pass, what a decision. Underneath as he finds Clark.
A lot of times when that happens, people are expecting that shot to go up from 3 or 4 feet away. Good extra pass. Wow, that's a tough pass.
That's the right of Junior Joseph's feet. Hunter to the other end, lays it up, and he's going to shoot free throws. A little bit of chatter between the teams after the officials quickly trying to defuse the situation.
So the soft shot comes up. Now you start working for it. The ball comes bounce back. Nice little drop pass there. Well timed. Good decision. And so Hunter thinks that he could score in that. He thought right at half court he had a chance for an open layup. Closed pretty quickly by Dent, but good contact there to get him to the line.
Chase Hunter founded the act, so 2 free throws here with 34.7 seconds left. 50-year senior for Brad Brownell. At a Westlake High School in Atlanta. The leading assist man.
Great free throw shooter. Remember earlier, Spiro, he missed 2 in a row. 87%. It looks more like an 87% result.
Told you about Clemson's free throw shooting since January the 1st. 4th best team in the country in terms of free throw accuracy. As Hunter pushes their lead to 14 points.
So it looks like New Mexico is going to try to, with the 5-second differential or so.
About a 4.5-second difference. Shot to game clock. This is Dent. Guarded by Hunter. Out front, House. Want to shoot. He's got a fire. Misses badly.
That hit the rim. Yeah, that got rim.
Still alive. Junior Joseph kind of gave up on the play. As that takes us to halftime here in Memphis.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's slid off the front rim, so that the horn went off. It should not have. And I think a couple of the guys at their end, New Mexico's side, see, that hits the bottom of the front of the rim coming down. And everybody kind of froze on the New Mexico side.
John Rothstein standing by with Brad Brownell.
Brad, how has your team kept the lead with P.J. Hall on the bench?
Yeah, well, I don't like it. I tell you that. I want him out there playing, but I'm proud of our guys. RJ gave us some great minutes off the bench. His athleticism and energy is terrific.
Why does your team look different than last week at the ACC tournament?
You know, I don't know. I wish I had the answer to it. We had a bad day. Picked a bad day to have a bad day. Now we've had a good start, but we got to have another 20 minutes here to finish this.
All right, thanks. Have a good half, John. Spiro.
All right, John, so P.J. Hall sits for the final 4 minutes, 50 seconds, and despite that, Clemson's going to take a 14-point lead into the halftime locker room. And we saw House, that fiery, competitive spirit that he has, impact the game in other areas. But if they're going to win this game, they got to get more scoring from both Mashburn and House. Mashburn in the first half, 2 points, Jim, 1 of 6 shooting. Here he is, quickly trying to get his game going. So they come up empty on their first trip.
Yeah, Spiro, as it just touched on, what's wrong with that shot right there? You want him shooting that. He's got to continue to try to get that spot on the floor if he can.
Gerard catch and shoot short. And the rebound corralled underneath by Toppin.
So here's what you'll see. A little pull up. There you go. Fast pace.
Transition try from House.
Nice tip by Hall just then. Gerard right where he's supposed to be, helping out.
P.J. Hall sat for nearly the last 5 minutes of the first half after he picked up his second personal. And Clemson gets our first points of the second half.
Nice little pull-up. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to Joseph on the blocks here with Hall with 2 fouls. Maybe rattle him a little bit.
So Chase Hunter now 3 of 7 shooting. He's got 8 points. For Dent underneath, trying to get it to Toppin.
And not a bad,
and they turn it over.
Yeah, not a bad look right there, too. And then you take a look at Clemson here coming across. Nice little pull-up jumper. Nothing really fancy with that. Under control as a team. Balancing the floor. A lot of good things so far.
So Clemson team that has not won an NCAA tournament game since their run to the Sweet 16 in 2018. Shevlin, that's a 3.
You see the way they're tracking Gerard, who's known for his shooting throughout the course of his career. And they drag defenders with them, and that's why you have wide open shots for teammates.
And just like that, the Tigers match their largest lead of the day as we get a whistle at the other end.
See here, watch him. The shooter comes this way, and 2 guys go with him. And what do you end up having? A wide open shot for Shiflin. That's where they've mixed it up in terms of putting Hall on the blocks, then Hall outside. That's real good work. And Brad Grinnell and his team really well coached this afternoon and prepared.
Whistle was charged to P.J. Hall, his 3rd personal, so Hall is going to sit here.
And what did he just tell John? I'd rather have him out on the court. And boy, he only gets out there for what? Just less than 2 minutes.
It's a Clemson squad that had to dig deep psychologically after that really disheartening showing in the quarterfinals of the ACC tournament. They lost as a 6 seed to the 11 Boston College. And they got run pretty handily in that game. Whistle blown here in the backcourt. 7 p.m. Eastern, TNT, True TV, and Max. Nice little backdoor. Gerard missed it, and the tip up and in. Shevlin.
Boy, it just seems like every set, and I know it's early in this second half, but they spread the floor. They're executing beautifully. They're getting New Mexico now, who's going to start to take some chances, like John mentioned. And when you take chances, obviously backdoors open up in a hurry.
Shevlin now the 2nd Tiger in double figures. He's got 11 points and 7 rebounds.
Contested shots too, Spiro. We could talk a little bit about Clemson's efficiency offensively, but they're really bottling up New Mexico in the right spots.
Clemson team that began the season 9 straight wins.
Should be able to jump over him here, don't you think?
Hunter. Offensive rebound. Godfrey, the little shovel pass right back to Hunter. And it's all Clemson. Boy, the chef cooking up something special for the Tigers.
Here's where it's happening. Just a soft little tip. And Godfrey is really giving them some good minutes with the dish right there.
Can House and Mashburn get their offensive games going?
You know, Spiro, I keep saying it, but that's a tough shot right there. But some of these shots have been pretty good strokes. And if Richard Pitino tells them to stop shooting the ball, which I don't think he will, on those shots, then we're all crazy. But they have to do what they do, and that's it. Shoot the ball and be a little bit more aggressive off the bounce.
Just think of how good both of those guys were in their run through the Mountain West Conference tournament. As Junior Joseph misses here, he's going to shoot a couple of free throws. House in the championship game against San Diego State, 28 points, hit 3 threes in that game. Mashburn had 21. Try and decide. Can you think back to what Richard Pitino inherited with this program? A program, Jimmy, that had really hit the skids. Got only 13 wins in year 1. Last year got him up to 22-12, 8 wins in conference, and this year back in the tournament for the first time since 2014.
A turnover in the backcourt there, Spiro. Little switch up by Richard Pitino. Smart. He's kind of saying to himself, let's put something different. So he throws a little trap, and that ball errantly thrown.
Corner three. Mashburn, no. And New Mexico unable to capitalize on the takeaway.
Just another good look.
So Mashburn, if you've just hopped on with his 1 of 8 shooting, he's missed all 4 of his 3-pointers. 3-pointer at the other end, no good.
Here they come, though. They're going to try to uptick this, as you can see it already.
Here comes House.
Well defended, though, especially by Hunter.
Let's check in with John.
Well, guys, some news this week. Clemson, following Florida State, suing the ACC. Obviously, this will all lead to all sorts of realignment things down the road. But Clemson and its athletic department joining Florida State in that lawsuit. Guys, as we know, the only constant in life is change. And as we also know, that also is the case with conference realignment.
Boy, the winds of change have been blowing heavily in college sports. Hoops.
Jim Phillips, the ACC
commissioner looking on. With some important happenings off the floor, obviously, the landscape.
Yep.
Everyone just waiting to see how things will settle, Jim, eventually. NIL, just so much movement in the sport.
And it's such a short period of time, too, right?
Cisnelli Jr. Joseph. Defensive anchor, one of the unsung heroes, according to what Richard Pitino told us yesterday.
Gets some 8 rebounds a game, 4th in the conference. Oh, that was close to a moving screen.
Hunter poked away. Who touched it last? They say last touched by Mashburn.
You see this coming in the backcourt. Let's just see if he moves a little bit. You see where that leg is, too, Spiro? That leg was out just a little bit further than the shoulder. Maybe not quite, but very close.
Largest comeback win for New Mexico this year was 12. January the 13th at home against San Diego State. There's an illegal pitch.
That's going the other way.
Shefflin and House again get tangled up. 18-point game. New Mexico trying to dig deep.
That was a good one.
Oh, what a 14-year run it's been at Clemson for Brad Brownell, all-time winningest coach in the history of the program. Has them back in the dance, hoping to get a win and move on here with Baylor awaiting. But what a tenure, what a run it's been for Brownell. Playing in front of his parents, his father Bob, his mom Jenny. His dad Bob was a longtime high school coach in the state of Indiana. Obviously caught the coaching bug from him. But Brad told us yesterday his father used to take him to Bob Knight's coaching clinics in the state of Indiana. That got the fire burning.
That should.
And here he is all these years later, trying to write their own March Madness script. Fight for it underneath. Offensive rebound. Toppin. Good interior defense as he sent Wiggins back. Here comes Dent taking some contact. Way too much. Junior Joseph, boy, had a chance.
Wow. That's where they're forcing the action. You notice they're a little off balance, maybe overdoing it a touch. Well, he's going to be 2 for 10 now, I believe. The shooter, Gerard.
And he's 2 of 7, Jim, from 3.
Go up strong. Oh, you got to catch it first.
Poked out of bounds, last touched by Godfrey. Boy, Mom Jenny wanted a foul on that last sequence. Dad staying calm.
It's okay. No judgments. Good break there to give Gerard a break, too.
Bob coached in a few of these kinds of games. Chippy, physical. House.
Oh, we got a neck ball.
And we have a wedgie. Basketball to Clemson.
You want to take this one and analyze it?
Some of your best work.
Thank you.
Jim, they've had a couple of openings. You thought maybe the momentum was going to start to turn, but New Mexico's offense has failed them repeatedly at some of the key moments.
Yeah, especially on the open shots.
This is Godfrey, shot clock at 6. Hunter gets it to his brother Chase, three-pointer no, and the Lobos control. Boy, House and Mashburn are a combined 3 of 20 from the field. House underneath, he's fouled on the pass. Let's check in with John.
Well, Spiro, you said it. Richard Pitino told us yesterday that House and Mashburn have been the key to New Mexico's turnaround. Those two players in the Mountain West Tournament title game against San Diego State combined for 49 points. Right now, Spiro, 12 combined.
Different set of circumstances, but that's a big 3. Drew Washington, the impressive freshman out of Compass Prep in Arizona. He had 14 points in their opening round game against Air Force in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. We mentioned some of the big moments against San Diego State in the championship game.
There you go, a little
piece inside.
Yep, little help too. They need a bucket desperately right here.
House extends. New Mexico punching back.
Now all of a sudden you can feel a little shift. Let's see how Clemson comes back. I think they're going to start to talk things over. Yep. And Brad's going to call that timeout. It's a good timeout.
Their push. And again, this is the engine, Jalen House.
And hey, watch him. He just goes wham by 2 guys. And I love the fact that he doesn't try to shoot that at the peak of his jump right there because it might have gotten deflected. Shoots it on the way down a bit.
8 straight points for New Mexico. Clemson scoreless in the last 4+ minutes since they opened up a 21-point lead.
Joe Girard back on the floor also.
Boy, big shot, corner 3, Chauncey Wiggins.
And you spread that floor out and you use both sides of it. Big response there and a good call. Brad Brunell.
Nice pass underneath, and then they got a piece. Yeah. Junior Joseph turned back by Godfrey.
I'm not so sure he caught that ball cleanly, because if he did, he should have gone right up with it and did not.
Driving kick, open 3, Dylan Hunter, no. And this is going to be a loose ball foul against the Tigers on R.J. Godfrey. A little bit of contact from Godfrey. Got away with one earlier.
Yep, more than a little there. He should have been at the line. Here's the spreading the floor and watch little sit back here over the left side. And notice that was a running start by Adam Seal trying to get out there. It took him 3 strides and he was too late.
So they eventually get Godfrey at the other end. He picks up his 3rd personal. Toppin the kick, House, deep shot, short. Nice offensive rebound. Toppin, he missed it, puts it back. Basket will not count. Contact before the putback. And a tough little break here for the Lobos.
Just getting a kick out of Richard Pitino over there. He was complaining at the call. He gets a call that he wants, but I think he wanted the call first. Back and forth.
So Toppin.
Watch this kick right off the front of the rim. Good hands to stop it.
It was a non-shooting foul, so actually a 2-shot foul, beg your pardon. So they did get him on the putback attempt, so 2 shots for Toppin. See his line so far. There's a P.J. Hall reinserted into the game here with 12:22.
Almost thinking that Richard Pitino did not want that call because of the fact that he could have had a layup on the second part of that play. And he doesn't come away with anything. That's what Richard Pitino was thinking.
As the argument is, you're going to foul him on a putback.
He didn't want the putback, though. He wanted that layup after it. Can't have everything. Here comes Hall back in the game, too.
Hall leans into Toppin, and Seal trailing as a help defender. And this is going to be an over-the-back loose ball foul against Jack Clark.
Yeah, because Mashburn was underneath there, too. One of the key things turning a little bit now are the free throw opportunities that they're going to have.
So this puts Clemson over the limit. You see the foul trouble that Brad Brownell is thinking about. 1-and-1 here for Jamal Mashburn Jr. with 12:06 left. So it's one way to cut into the deficit here for New Mexico.
Ashburn just couldn't believe that thing fell in for him. Give him a break. Two things on the side of the fouls, though, Spiro. Clemson has 8. New Mexico has 1, right? So I would challenge if I'm New Mexico and really start again bringing it to the glass. And you can play this up-tempo defense, too, right now and take some chances.
So we approach the 12-minute mark. Mashburn has been so good this year. Oh, just 6 points.
There's one of those chances that he took. Not bad, though. You have to do it.
Lobos trying to get physical as they look to cut into the deficit. A minute ago, JT Toppin was fouled right there on the first contact. He gets it back and puts it in. They negated that basket, so they gave him the 2 free throws.
2 free throws that he missed, which was big, and that's why Richard Pitino was almost like saying, don't call the first one, just let him play it out, and I'll get a bucket out of this, not knowing that he was going to miss 2 free throws.
But P.J. Hall dribbled it off of his foot. Hall, by the way, had the foul trouble he's been dealing with. Hasn't scored a basket since the 5:51 mark of the first half. He's lost a little bit of his rhythm.
Whoa, look,
and there's the steal. The rip by Clark. Hunter extends, and he's headed to the free throw line.
Wow, what great hops at the end of that play. The Sky and Hang at the same time. The defense really picking it up, though. Stepping in right here. Now watch how quickly they convert. They come right down. Defensively, nobody's in his path. Beautiful finish and decision.
Jimmy, we've seen this Clemson team for stretches today look like the team that we saw start the year with 9 straight wins. Remember, they had the road wins at Alabama and against a really good Pitt team. Neutral court win over TCU. Those are 3 quad 1 wins that they had early part of the season.
And what I like about this game so far, Spiro, both ends of the floor, about 80% of the time, they've been playing pretty consistently. Still really not turning the ball over, only 5 at this point.
The lead back to 17. Mashburn's 3, no. Offensive rebound, Washington out to House. Into the corner, and they turn it over again.
Yep, make the difficult pass, and they'll eat that up. Should have gone way out to the right side of the wing rather than to the right corner.
House nearly the strip.
Trying to get him to play a little faster, Clemson.
Wiggins, tough fade on the turn, and the rebound by Washington.
I don't think they have a problem playing a little faster. They just don't want to go too fast.
Here comes the freshman. Into the corner. It's a turnover again. Boy, it has been one of those days for Mashburn.
1 for 10 from the floor. Get a hand on the ball and it's just can't pick it up.
Jamal Mashburn Jr., who played for Richard Pitino at Minnesota, followed his coach to Albuquerque. Look at the field goal and turnover numbers and what has been a ragged offensive day for the Lobos. Here comes Hunter. Boy, that was a thing of beauty.
Was that ever, Spiro? That was just fabulous. The control, though, at the other end offensively by Clemson has really been impressive.
5 straight points on Seal.
Yeah, that's a good call.
This will be a trip as they get Jack Clark at the top of the circle. And a 1-and-1 here for JT Toppin.
So nice to be able to hang in the air like that, Hunter. Just letting contact and letting players go flying by him to finish it on the weak side of the basket.
So here's Mustafa Amsil, co-6th man of the year this season in the Mountain West, and they're leaving some points at the free throw line. Something they could ill afford.
9 of 16.
Winner of this one moves on to take on Baylor on Sunday. And a Baylor team that looked just sensational earlier today. 3-pointer Gerard, no. Fight for it underneath. And it's last touch by Toppin.
I guess you could say one of the other impressive things, Spiro, on this team, Richard Pitino gets it. An opportunity here to play against a team like Clemson with Gerard, their shooter, going 2 for 11. And everybody else picks up the slack.
Yeah, P.J. Hall hasn't scored a basket in forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
You're seeing some of the depth and versatility. Boy, this kid's putting it together. Chase Hunter, corner pocket 3. And he's got a game-high 18. Baseline answer at the other end. Critical basket for New Mexico. House now with a dozen as we check back in with John.
As you mentioned, Chase Hunter has been sensational in this game, and the Clemson staff has felt all season that he is a must-have for them as a contributor. Remember, guys, last week in the ACC tournament at BC, Hunter goes 0 of 10. You see the difference in this team today, Spiro.
Completely different team than the one that we saw lose by 21 points. Just didn't look like themselves, Jimmy, in that loss to BC in the quarters of the ACC tournament.
He's just making good decisions, and he's been on a roll though the last 9 games in the regular season too, so he has been playing well. A couple of bumps here and there. Wow, just dribbled right into the hands.
So Gerard, the cough up, House at the other end, and this is going to be offensive. House incredulous at that call. Boy, and that's a missed opportunity for New Mexico. And number 3 against House.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. See, he's getting ready to plant that foot and he's still moving. That's a block, in my opinion.
House had almost left his feet.
Oh, it's that last foot to be planted. And they're not going to be happy with this either. Not getting a call, then they were one against them. But when you have the hands coming down like House just did from top to bottom, better chance you're going to get called for a foul.
Foul charge there to JT Toppin, his second, team's 5th, with exactly 9 minutes left in regulation. So this thing is ballooned back to 20 for the Tigers. Now Richard Pitino extends with some of his full court trapping defense. They're going to get another reach-in foul.
Yeah, the fouls are mounting. Now they have 6, so it's going to cost them every time they foul from this point on.
And boy, that's number 4 against Jalen House. He's going to have to sit.
They get him in a good spot again, but you notice that the hands are coming down. Occasionally, Spiro, if you bring your hands up from the lower, your knees, and swipe up once in a while, you may jar the ball loose without getting the officials' eyes on it as easily.
Can't imagine Richard Pitino is going to keep House on the bench for very long. They're down 20 points with 8 and change remaining. This is Wiggins, slithers into the paint. Little hesitation move, no. And Melly Jr. Joseph clears.
Yeah, they need this next 3 minutes to go their way, New Mexico.
43rd career double-double, by the way, for Junior Joseph. Three-pointer Washington, no offensive rebound. Toppin, wow.
Unbelievable how much he missed that one by.
Washington gets it back and cleans it up.
You got to love the effort, though, by New Mexico just then. Just putting up the first layup. Watch this first layup, how much he misses that one by. And then he stays with it. Comes down and gets the ball low and just explodes back to the basket.
P.J. Hall, Chase Hunter going to check in for Clemson here. Say what you want about New Mexico. This is a gritty team. They were squarely on the bubble, Jim, when they went to Vegas for the Mountain West Conference tournament. As they removed all doubt, 4 wins in 4 days. How much fight did they have left here down the stretch? 3-point play by Washington, and it's a 17-point game.
And they continue to press. They don't have any choice now. This is how they want to rattle and get them to pick up the pace, maybe get Clemson to shoot something too quickly.
Chase Hunter underneath. Thought maybe he would bring it back out to run some clock.
He thought he had a 2-on-1, I think, too, Spiro, but that closed up in a hurry, didn't it?
So House on the bench with 4. Richard Pitino just trying to buy some time with one of his most indispensable players on the bench.
Yeah, especially at the media timeout coming. He'll probably use that to his advantage, give him some extra rest.
Here's P.J. Hall.
Well, he's not in a hurry to go. Yeah, not in a hurry to go anywhere.
One of the top big men in the country. And he's given the Tigers a 19-point lead. Here comes Mashburn. Boy, tough spin, a little bit out of control. The putback, Toppin, no. And last touch by P.J. Hall. Boy, Jamal Mashburn is 1 of 11.
So when you're in the half-court set, if your big guy knows what to do and set himself up coming across, but watch how patient this move is.
Mexico in the second half shooting 4 of 19. Well, anyone who has watched the Lobos this year knows how much emotion Jalen House plays with, the frustration boiling over. Jimmy just trying to blow off some of that steam as he had to come off the floor, picked up his 4th personal foul. And he is still on that bench.
Yep.
Out of the timeout.
Well, he didn't spend his time yelling at the officials to pick up a technical.
Mashburn feeds the post.
And they get something going.
Washington on the launch. No. Fight for it. Toppin. Wow. Stolen. This is Dylan Hunter on the push. Lays it up, and they're going to get a goaltend. And with that, Clemson is up 21.
Those cross-court passes like that are just so difficult to execute. Especially when you have a team that's up as many as Clemson, because they can gamble and get away with a mistake.
Dent. New Mexico since halftime is 4 for 21 shooting. Mashburn 1 of 11 on the day. House 4 for 14. Just don't have enough depth if those two are struggling to this extent. Reach and foul. Girard is bumped.
Plus, on the other side of that, Spiro, I'm not so sure that Clemson will make enough mistakes to let them climb back into this game, even though they want to go up tempo. They've been pretty good with the basketball. You know, only having, as we've touched on before, 6 turnovers to this point.
17th foul against the Lobos, so 1-1 here for Joseph Girard, the 3rd.
Yep, only 96% from the line.
Best free throw shooter in the country, 4th best number all time at 95.6. Let's check in with John.
Well, Spiro, Joe Girard played the first number of years of his career at Syracuse. He's got a lot of fans at Clemson. One of them, though, Jim Boeheim. I talked to Coach Boeheim earlier this week. He still watches Joe Girard games, thinks he's been a great fit for Brad Brownell and the Tigers, and he's been a difference maker for this team, Spiro, with his offense.
Yeah, we saw Jim Boeheim in Dayton this week.
Watch out. Oh, man.
Look out. Toppin is bumped. Everyone looks like they're okay.
Yeah, I was just concerned about Hall's face and head coming down on that one. And he shows that ball and goes up, and right there, that timing was against Hall. Watch when he comes up right now.
Oof, that's always dangerous.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be worse than it turned out, fortunately.
So here's JT Toppin. Told you, co-freshman of the year in the Mountain West this season. Led the conference in rebounds per game, field goal percentage, and blocks in league play. Just a tremendous first year out of Oak Cliff Faith Family Academies from Dallas. And by the way, no relation to Obi Toppin. Here comes Hunter to the rack. No. Shevlin is fouled after another offensive rebound for the Tigers.
Hunter does not mind the challenge, does he?
Holy smokes. Boy, Jalen House is just fouled out with 6:27 left in regulation.
Yeah, there's an arm. Yeah, I mean, you can see it. He's doing his best to hang, and now he goes under the towel. Frustration, just pure frustration.
This thing just got a whole lot tougher for New Mexico with House on the bench and done for the day.
You just want to play so well in an NCAA tournament game, and when it doesn't go your way, it just piles on. The emotions, the frustration, the feelings all get wrapped into one.
Nice little backdoor cut. Baker, pretty one-handed bounce by Washington.
It's been a while since we've seen something clean for them. Nice pass.
Up the floor to Chase Hunter. He'll track it down, wait for his teammates as we come up on the 6-minute mark. Winner of this one advances to take on Baylor in a round of 32 date here on Sunday. Girard under control, too much. Rebound Washington. Deep three from Baker. New Mexico one and done.
And now it's going to be Clemson's pace. They're going to play this just the way they want. Take that clock down to about 10 seconds and then start to attack.
Hunter into the corner to Girard. 5 seconds to shoot. Hunter elevates.
Wow, great rebound. And another 20 to 25 seconds with 20 seconds they can take.
What a player Shefflin has become. Again, number 3 rebounder in the ACC this season. He's got 12 and 11, eclipsing both of his season averages. Little leaner from Chase Hunter, and he's going to shoot free throws.
Joseph caught a shot in the face just then.
Again, a Clemson team that stumbled into the tournament here to Memphis. That 1-3 showing over their previous 4 games. All the talk, Jimmy, about their struggles. The 20-plus point loss in the ACC tournament. They are reminding the country just how good they can be on the right day.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is a really good New Mexico team, and they have handled them nearly from the start. See the free throw percentage, touched on how good Clemson has been today. Really the only thing that they haven't been A+.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it with exactly 5 minutes or so to go.
So no Jalen House for the rest of the day. He's fouled out for New Mexico. Do they have one last gasp? Washington turns the corner, knocked out of his hands by Godfrey. And it's last touched by the Lobos. John, what do you have?
Well, Spiro, you were talking about Clemson. This is a team that started out the year like one of the best in the country. And we look at the seed lines right now in the NCAA tournament. Clemson won at Alabama, won at North Carolina. That's road victories over 2 of the top 16 seeds. This team's plenty capable.
Yeah, they were squarely in, safely in, because of those non-conference wins. The Alabama win on the road, really impressive early in the year. Got that one on the road at Pitt. And again, they are reminding everyone just how good they are. Inside, this is Godfrey, no, and a loose ball foul against New Mexico. Interestingly, Jimmy, Jamal Mashburn Jr. is on that bench with 4:17 left.
Yeah,
surprised?
Very. I mean, he's been 1 for 11, but I still think you ride your guys who you know can score and get you back into a game. He's got no foul trouble. He's got 0 fouls.
And one of the guys that have gotten them here, no doubt. How good he has been, but just hasn't been his day. 2 free throws for Shefflin.
And Clemson knew that they wanted to try to take either 1 or 2 of them out of the game, and they were successful in both.
Nelly Jr. Joseph reverse spin. He's going to get it, count the basket, and a free throw coming up for the Iona transfer.
And we put this on the category of a power move down low. Watch this, all of a sudden he's getting hit there a little bit, hit again, finally gets the foul and puts it away.
Jimmy, this is why this tournament is so hard to predict. You know, a lot of people had New Mexico, the lower seed, maybe this one of the first round upsets, red hot Mountain West Conference champs, Clemson coming in struggling. But boy, it has been a completely different set of circumstances as the Tigers have looked fantastic. Knocked out of bounds by the Lobos with just over 4 minutes left in regulation.
Oh,
Gerard, he stepped over. You don't want to do that. A rare mistake. Unfortunately for Jalen House, just wasn't his day. Picture tells 1,000 words sometimes.
Yep.
Frustrating day for the Lobos. I've been wondering about Jamal Mashburn here as we take a look at our game reset. John, what did you find out?
Yes, Pierre, this is a coach's decision. Obviously, Jamal Mashburn Jr. struggling, just 1 of 11 from the field, 0 of 6 from three-point range. But this is a coach's decision right now, Spiro.
Yeah, so no injury, just Richard Pitino looking for a spark elsewhere. Jalen House is fouled out, if you've just joined us. And the New Mexico team that won the Mountain West Conference Championship with their tournament run last week in Vegas has been pretty much dominated here in the second half, down 19 points to the Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, Clemson came out in the beginning of this game also ready to play and didn't make many mistakes at all. Watch out.
Errant pass by Junior Joseph, looking for Dent. Remember what Brad Brownell told us about the conversations and he challenged his players with after that loss to Boston College last week. I wondered how they would respond. And boy, a veteran, experience-laden team has shown you the medal on the biggest stage there is in the sport.
And I really like the balance of this team too. Little inside with 2 guys, Shefflin and Hall.
We're going to jump here, says official Lee Cassell. Possession arrow favors New Mexico. Meantime, Richard Pitino. Obviously a disappointing end to their season here with 3 and change left. Just consider again where they were when he took over this program, Jim, 3 years ago to where they are now. Back in the tournament for the first time in a decade. Obviously not the finish that they were hoping for, but a marvelous run last week in Vegas.
Yeah, it's almost sometimes a snowballing effect, positively and negatively. You know, Clemson got on the snowball going in the right direction, and this is just a negative for New Mexico. They couldn't get themselves out of their own way.
Shefflin, and he has picked them apart. 16 points and 11 rebounds for the ACC's most improved player. Washington, southpaw on the 3, too much. Rebound Hall. We approach the final 2 minutes.
New Mexico right now, 18 for 62, 29%.
Chase Hunter, just sensational. Season high 21 for him. He's 5 off his career mark. Washington unable to hit. Brad Brownell is going to start to empty his bench. And the celebration already has begun behind that Tigers bench, as they will be moving on. What a second round matchup that is going to be between Clemson and a Baylor team that was just off the charts earlier today. Shefflin, no.
And you know, just the hope is, Spiro, looking ahead to that game, is I hope they both play as well as they did today. Because if they did, we're in for a real treat.
Knocked out of bounds underneath. And here come the substitutions.
Well, everything's going well. Nice pull up there from 10 feet away.
What a comeback, bounce back performance for these Tigers. Nice ovation from the contingent that has made the trek here to Memphis. And now Richard Pitino will start to bring in some of his reserves from the end of the bench. Apple, Hans, Webb, Forsling, And Amsio back onto the floor for the Lobos. So New Mexico will end the season 26-10 as we get a whistle here underneath with 1:04 left to play. And the other thing, just to put a bow on Richard Pitino, I had a chance to visit with him as RJ Godfrey is fouled out. He's one of those guys who's got a chip on his shoulder. He's not afraid to show it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mentioned, look, I was fired at Minnesota. There was talk, boy, he can't coach. He felt a sense of validation with this season, bringing this program back from where they were. Who knows where they go from here? Obviously a disappointing end, but just a tremendous season for Pitino and his staff.
Yeah, I've known his father for a long time, Rick, but I'd never met Richard, believe it or not, over the years. And I walked away from that conversation that we had with him very impressed with him.
Back in the tournament again for the first time in 10 years. But they just didn't have the answers against this Clemson team that has looked terrific.
So, if you're looking to time an NCAA tournament game, they did it.
Here's Amsio. Off the steal, lays it up and in.
Because as a coach, Brownell, I'm sure he was thinking, what am I going to get for these guys today? Are they going to come out and play really well? Or you never know as a coach, but his team timed it perfectly.
Wiggins. Seal unable to put that one down. Offensive rebound for Sling. And he's going to shoot a couple of free throws for New Mexico. So Brad Brownell has the Tigers back in the tournament. They're going to get their first tourney win since that run to the Sweet 16 in 2018. And they will very quickly, Jimmy, start to begin preparations for Scott Drew and Baylor.
And hope that Baylor isn't shooting the ball that well like they did. That'll be an interesting matchup.
In the meantime, the end of the road for this really fun, impressive New Mexico team. Final seconds. And the Clemson Tigers are moving on. They get their first NCAA tournament win in 6 years as they dispatch of New Mexico and win it 77-56.